In this video, we will solve a tricky SQL interview question. So the question I have taken from lead code, and this is a very common question, and the question which are solved using similar logic are also very common. So the question is, we have initially a table called as products table, and in the product table we have three columns. The first column is product ID, new price, and the third column is change date. And the table description is as follow, which is telling us which is the primary key and what is basically the each instance of the row is about. So product ID, change date column together is the primary key for the particular table. That is, the combination of column will be unique. That is product ID and change date. Each row of this table indicate that the price of some product was changed to a new price at some date. So each instance is telling us that product price has got changed on that particular date. And the question is, write a solution to find the price of all products on 2019 8/16th. Assume the price of all products before any change is 10. And we can return the result in any order, and the expected result format is given below. And this is the input table, which is the product table, which has three columns basically, which we have explained. And this is the expected output. So we should have the product ID and the price corresponding to each product for 2019 8 and 16. So I have created the same table in SSMS, and I will solve the question in SSMS so that we can do a lot of trial and error and see exactly what is the logic behind the query. So this is the exact same table which I have created. That is the product table with three columns, and I have inserted the same records into the table. And let me query the table. Then let us start writing the query. So our question is, write a solution to find the price of all products on 2019 8/16. Now coming to the products table, we can see from the product ID column, we only have three products, which is product ID corresponding to 1, then 2 and 3. And corresponding to each product ID, when we check the change date, we can see that only product ID 1 has a date which is 2019 8 and 16. Corresponding to product ID 2 and product ID 3, we don't have any date which is 2019 8 and 16. So that is where the tricky part of this question comes. Now, when we take the example of this product ID 2, we have a new price on 2019 8 and 14. So after that, the product having got changed. So we can take this new price as the price on 2019 8/16. But when coming to product ID 3, the only date we are having in the table is 2019 8 and 18. Also in the question it's given that assume the price of all products before any change is done. So that for product ID 3, the price has changed on 2019 8/18. So before that change, the price should be 10. So the result corresponding to 3 should be 10. Now if I go back to the expected result, we can see that corresponding to product ID 2, the price should be 50. That is this record. Then corresponding to product ID 1, the result should be 35, which is corresponding to the date 2019 8 and 16. And corresponding to product ID 3, the price should be 10 because 2019 8/18 is greater than 2019 8/16. So before the price change, the price of product ID 3 will be 10. So now let us start writing the query. So we'll start with a select clause. Now we want the product ID in the result. So product underscore ID, comma. Now we want the price, new underscore price. But here, instead of simply putting the price, we have to put this inside a window function, which is the first value window function. So first underscore value over. Inside the over clause, the partition should be based on product ID. Partition by product underscore ID, and order by clause should be based on the change date column. Order by change underscore date in descending order. Now close the bracket and we'll give the name as price. And this is from the table products. Now we have to put a where clause. And inside the where clause, we have to specify a condition based on the change date column. Change underscore date should be less than or equal to 2019 0816. Now let us run this part and see what is the result. Also, we have to put a distinct clause here because otherwise it will give result for all individual instances. Now execute this. Now we have the result for product ID 1 and product ID 2, and the result is correct. Corresponding to product ID 1 we have 35 and product ID 2 we have 50, but we don't have the result corresponding to the third product ID, which is 3. So for that we will write a second query, that is select product underscore ID, comma, the price should be 10 as price, and this is from the table products. Now after this we have to specify a group by condition. Group by condition on product ID. It is because we are going to specify a filtering condition based on the change date column, and for that we are using the having clause. Having minimum of change date greater than 2019 0816. Now we should get the result for the third product ID. So let us execute this part of the query alone. Now we have the result for product ID 3 and the result is 10. Now we have the result for product ID 1 and 2 from the first query and 3 from the second query. Now we have to simply do a union OR for the two queries, and now we will get the result in a single table. Now execute this. We have the result in a single table where we have the product price on that particular date for each of the product ID. And when we compare this result to the result on lead code, we have the exact same result. So corresponding to 1 we have 35, 250 and 310. So 1 corresponds to 35, 250 and 310. So this is the solution for this query. Thanks for watching, and if you like the video, subscribe our channel. Thank you.